My palms are sweaty thinking about this case. I do not like this man. I do not think he should be out, and I think we should all just go pack a little bag and go to, um, scope this out, and, like, we need to go to Portugal, obviously, and just make sure he
Sure,
doesn't
as
show
long
up
as the
there
company's
again.
paying for it, the magnitude of this case, like, it made it to the Pope, which
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, I didn't see that.
I think a couple months after, or maybe like 30 days after the abduction, they were in Vatican City or someplace. I actually didn't check all these resources, but yeah, they met with the Pope, and he also recognized her photo. So that's how
Wow.
big the story was back in 2007.
It's crazy. This is Criminally Obsessed, and we are so glad to have you here with us. Be sure to like and subscribe. You don't wanna miss one episode of this show. We are talking about the biggest cases, that we are all obsessed with, and there is nothing that we've been more obsessed with than the most famous missing persons case in the world. As John was just pointing out, the Pope knew about this, right? We're talking millions and hundreds of millions of people have been trying to find Madeleine McCann. And we just found out that the prime suspect, Christian Brueckner, has was released Wednesday, September 17th from prison, from a German prison. And he is not only the prime suspect, according to police, he's the only suspect. Autumn, I know that you were working on this week. Talk to me about Maddie McCann, this beautiful little 3-year-old.
Yeah, so I mean, this is right up there with like John Benet Ramsey, right? One of the most familiar missing names that probably anyone across the globe would know. And it takes us back to May 3rd, 2007. So Jerry, Kate, Madeline, and there were two twin siblings. We're all in Portugal, in Algarve, just on a family vacation. Parents went to dinner, and it was pretty normal at the time to just leave the kids there, and check on them sporadically. They were very, very close to the room where the kids were sleeping. And that night, Madeline goes missing. And this just sparks what we're talking about here, one of the biggest missing person cases in history, really, right? And basically, why we're talking about it right now is because we have a huge update, and that is that Brueckner, the prime suspect in her case, and like you said, the only suspect, has just been released from German prison. Now, if you're wondering what he was doing in prison, he was serving a 7-year sentence for raping a 72-year-old American woman in 2005 in Portugal, in the same location where Maddie went missing. This is not the only thing that he has done. The guy's got a record going all the way back to 1994 for child sexual abuse, drug charges there. The guy is a career criminal. He's a very, very dangerous person.
I mean, let's set the scene of what he was doing in Portugal. Like, he's a German national, right? So
Mhm.
he's a drifter. He's
Yeah.
a petty thief. He's a robber. He's robbing people in this tourist town, allegedly, of their stuff. And this gives him access to where he possibly could have reached Maddie McCann, is what they're thinking.
And that's, I think, one of the things that a lot of people have questions about is,
Mhm.
there is a lot of evidence, but not quite the evidence that we need to bring him to court and make this case, right? Like, we know that he was in the same location at the same time. There's cell phone data that also pins him there. Um, there was suspicious activity that was found on some of his personal media items, like a hard drive, and things that alluded to him committing a crime like this, but nothing that directly would link him to Maddie's disappearance.
We're talking about circumstantial evidence, and we
Mhm.
all know that plenty of suspects in crimes go to jail over circumstantial evidence, and that's what is driving me a little crazy about this case. because like what you were saying, John, like I've been going through all of these files too. I've been going through all the old documents of all the documentaries that have been made about Maddie McCann. And everything is pointing that there is a truckload, a mountain of circumstantial evidence that would be linking him to multiple alleged
Mhm.
sex crimes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he was in prison because he is a convicted rapist. He raped a 72-year-old lady who happened to be American in this same little seaside town in
Yeah.
Portugal within a couple of years of Maddie
In
disappearing, right?
2005, and I'm like, how I mean, sometimes it takes time to solve cases, but he that means that he raped that woman and was still out at the time in 2007 when Maddie went
Yeah,
missing. So it's like, okay, you dropped the ball on catching that guy after, and thank God they still prosecuted him after the fact, but
we're talking about a
mhm.
multinational investigation. The English wanna talk to, but of course he won't talk to them.
Well, that was, I think, like, what the breaking news was before he was released, right? Is that, the Metropolitan Police wanted to speak with him, and he denied any questioning, which, I mean,
Seems
I'm
bizarre that he can
I'm
just
sure
say
I'm not.
no and that's it. Yeah.
That's the other thing too, like, that just doesn't
It's
the it
hard to
doesn't work
hear
like
it
that
and
here, like, and I think that that was shocking in itself, and then to hear just a couple days later, he's getting out, and now he's gone. It's, like, gone in the wind, and I've been just reading so many articles and reports and watching as many, like, updates as I can, and I read one that said, like, they don't even know where he's going, like, we don't know where he's headed. Like,
mm,
that just put so much, like,
trauma.
unease into my body when I read that, because what do you mean you don't know where he's going? You shouldn't there be a location that he's heading to and you know that he's going to be there and, like, somebody checks in to make sure that he's there? I
Yeah, I
just
mean,
can't
we have
believe that,
registered
like,
sex
someone
offenders
with
in this country, and it's like a big deal. And it's like plastered everywhere. This is a registered sex offender normally, but yeah, bizarre.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, let's talk about why we're so scared of this guy. I wanna talk about, like, what we know about this guy. I mean, we've all been doing our own research into Christian B or Christian Brueckner or this 49-year-old German national, right? What is so scary about him? I was
Go
I'll
ahead.
start.
Okay.
Sounds like you're
Um,
champing at the bit.
I'll start.
Let's get into it, Anne.
2016, we find out in 2016, that's how long they have known about this secret place where he allegedly called his little paradise, and it's this dilapidated old boxcar factory that he bought in Germany. He goes into this place and they find 75 small children's toddlers swimming costumes, that's what they call them in Europe, like bathing suits that he could have allegedly, according to the police. I'm trying to be careful because this guy, by the way, has never been charged with anything. Let's just be very clear. But they go in there and they find all of these images on um, memory sticks that he has buried underneath a dog that has all of these images that can only be described as horrific of alleged sex crimes against children and human beings. This is unbelievable, and I wanna talk about why he would have buried this and not destroyed that kind of evidence.
Can I
What
also
is the theory?
can I also just add one more thing to that? I think
Yeah.
the reach of his crimes, like, the fact that he has engaged in sexual crimes against women of all ages, it makes him a little bit more terrifying to me. Like, the fact that they found all of this, child sexual abuse material, and then he's also getting out of a 7-year bid for raping a 72-year-old woman. Like, there's not one person that's safe.
No. It sounds like no, it doesn't sound like anybody's safe, and we know that he's a convicted rapist, and we know he's a pedophile. Like, what does it take to get somebody like this behind bars
So
for good?
my thoughts on this are complicated, unfortunately. But I mean, it's like the fact is that, like, yeah, he should be behind bars. I think that it's insane that he only served 6 years of however long his sentence is supposed to be. He is almost definitely a predator. Like, okay, the one note that I wrote down was 70 swimsuits because that to me is like why would you possibly have that? The thing is though, it's not illegal to have 70 swimsuits, and it's not illegal. I mean, well, if you have child pornography on those USB drives, then yes, that is illegal and that should be its own prosecution. But it's like this is the problem. What can you get this guy for? And we're also, I feel like there's two parts to this conversation where it's like, okay, did he kidnap Maddie McCann? Is he a person who deserves to be in prison for whatever other crimes he committed? I feel like those are two completely different questions.
Mhm.
And the fact that, yeah,
I totally
yeah,
agree, John. I mean, you're right. Like, the truth is, it's circumstantial. I mean, didn't the prosecutor come out, like the German prosecutor, when they first said he was the prime and only suspect in this case? Didn't they say that they had something on him from this
yeah. They're
search?
saying now that they have like some evidence. Autumn, do you know more about this? Yeah.
They they keep alluding to having some evidence that will tie him. But my question is here, if you have it, then why is he out walking free? Why are you not releasing it? It's it's 2025. It's time. If we have what we need to proceed,
They don't
let's
though.
get
This is what I
going.
was seeing all over like all the articles I was
That's
reading is that like it's not enough to
Mhm.
put him away. And maybe this is a fault of the German
it isn't.
courts. Maybe they like have a
Mhm.
higher burden of proof or whatever. Or maybe it's just that like, everything that I was seeing too is like his girlfriend at the time said such and such, or his like business partner at the time said such and such. And it's like that's not concrete proof of, unfortunately, it could be accurate that he did confess to the crime in some oblique way, but like you don't have any concrete proof, and that doesn't fly in American courts either. Like often somebody coming in and just saying, yeah, he said this one night.
And I think that is I think we really are at the intersection of what the problem is with this
Hmm.
case, right? Like, you've got a guy that you known pedophile. I mean, he had right? He had issues all the way back from 17
Yep.
years old that
Mhm.
he
So
accused
do
Yeah.
you guys
of a
know? I
six-year-old.
didn't do any research
Ugh.
into, because I saw that the son came out and said that he's a convicted pedophile, and I'm like, and that was before the rape charge. I didn't see anything. It's too much deep dive to get into. Do you guys know anything about that pedophile case?
Well, what I know is that there are this is exactly why they have been trying to track this guy this whole time. I mean, they think they have what was it? Like, just, last year, they were trying to convict him of 5 different, um, s sex crimes, in
Hmm.
Portugal, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it brings us back to the Kyron Horman case. Do you guys
Yeah.
remember?
Oh,
Kyron was dropped off at school by his stepmother, and there were tons of witness accounts who said that they saw her with him at school. Some people even say that, they saw her leave with him. And this was for the mysterious disappearance of. And everybody, I think, feels that she knows something and she has something to do with it, but there isn't enough evidence to bring her in for it. And I did read that too in Maddie's case, that they just said we do have a lot of evidence, but it's not going to hold up in court. So until we have direct evidence that links him, we have to continue to search for the evidence that will directly link him. And it reminds me so much of that case because I just she also wouldn't talk.
mhm.
She would not talk. She waited, I think, 5 years to go on Dr. Phil, and then just denied knowing anything, denied having anything to do with it. And meanwhile, there was the one allegation that she had tried to hire the landscaper to kill her husband, who was Kyron's father. Like,
Oh,
and
wow.
all this other weird stuff just started
So she looked
trickling out.
yeah, it didn't look good.
It did not look good. It still,
Yeah.
doesn't sit right with me, but
Yeah. I mean, this is again like there's a lot that has to go into prosecuting somebody. And it's also like
right.
this is the problem with true crime often, is that like so many voices are out there being like just get the guy. Just like why don't you just take him and like haul him in and throw him in jail? It's like that's just not how it works. Like it takes a lot of evidence, and it's also like I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I find this story so frustrating because it's Portugal, it is Germany, it is England, it is, and it's like every one of those places screwed up royally in some way. Like the
Mhm.
Portuguese police like thought the McCanns did it. And now it's
Oh, yeah.
widely
A
not believed.
Greedo, is that what they
Yeah,
called it?
yeah. But you know, you also have the British tabloids who were like going completely also going with McCann's did it. And then Germany's got these bizarre laws that are, I mean, so
Their
it's
laws are
like, I don't
crazy.
know. I just throw
Yeah.
my hands up at the whole thing.
I'm I mean, to your point, like I will be completely honest here too, like they did look good for it. I mean, there's a group of friends who all leave their kids, adults. I mean, they're doctors, the McCanns. So, I mean, they're not just they're not young, they're not inexperienced. Like these are parents who have their, stuff together and are just on a family vacation. They leave their kids in the vacation apartment, which I think is maybe common practice
Mhm.
over there, because they're with other couples that
And
have kids
checking
that are
every
also
half hour.
sleeping.
And also like, yeah.
Right. Each of them takes
Right.
turns. Like I'll go check on mine, and you check on mine next while you
Mhm.
check on yours,
Mhm.
John. You know what I mean? We're all taking
Yeah.
turns.
And we're
And
'Right
then
250 feet. Yep.
there. It was right
250 feet
there.
away is how far
right
away
there.
they were, which is not, that's hardly anything. It's like right. Yeah.
Right.
And it's
It's like
really I think it's really common, and culturally, I think it's really common to
Mhm.
do that. They thought it was safe. They thought they were in a safe little town. Nothing from what I've read, this has never happened in this seaside town
Mhm.
like this. I mean, they had never had anything like this. I don't know if we've ever had anything like this,
It kind of
period, but
explains
you know
why
what
the
I mean,
Portuguese
like,
police perhaps were like not able, yeah, completely
dumbfounded.
dumbfounded. I mean, it also like don't want to slander, but they dropped the ball in a lot of ways. So I don't know.
well, I
I
think
mean,
they were also worried about
Sure,
tourism.
absolutely. Yeah.
oh, that's a really good
That
point.
this looks really, really bad for
Yeah.
tourism. So it's easy to point the finger at like the first
Mhm.
person.
Mhm.
But I don't know. To me, it feels very irresponsible, but I just also am so worried about the safety of kids at all times that like in my mind I would never ever ever leave my kids in a space that I wasn't in. Also I don't have kids right now, so like maybe if I'm on vacation and I want to like, get a few minutes that might change, but I definitely felt like do they have something to do with it? Like and then the twins were there still.
I
Like
mean,
there were just weird little things, you know?
I don't think I ever really left my kids, I didn't go that far, but absolutely. I mean, I have been outside having dinner when my kids have been inside when they were little.
Yeah.
I can think of a couple of different examples of that. And I do remember like in England, because I married into an English family, that's really common. I mean, like the way that was set up, especially when I was able to actually see the diagram of like where they were sitting and where the kids were. This is I think a very common thing. Now, would I do it? I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty OCD. Like, I don't know if I would have been able to like go across over a
Yeah.
pool and go on to the other side of where a
Right.
restaurant is. I mean, honestly, that scares me still. But obviously, they were with their friends and everybody was doing it and it felt normal. And I mean, and the other thing that I keep on hearing about in the investigation is whether or not the person, the suspect, and I'm gonna say it one more time, this guy has never even been charged with anything with the Maddie McCann disappearance, which I know frustrates and traumatizes the parents as well at this point.
Yeah.
But, the fact that he was a known robber in the area, that a petty theft, was going on, um, and that could this have possibly just been a random snatch? Like, he went in there, he was just going in to rob them, he saw that the back door was open or, not locked, and he just went in there to rob them.
Could be.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I totally think that that is a potential
Yeah.
possibility.
I mean, this is also part of like the reason this is so frustrating to talk about is because of how
Mhm.
like I started reading the Wikipedia page yesterday, just trying to get like like get a refresher on it. It took me 3 hours to read it because of every false lead and every, yeah, there's like, oh no, this was like a criminal ring, or this was a pedophile ring, this was the parents who did it, it was the friends of the parents who did it, it was the guy across the hall. Like they went to literally everybody, like every different direction. And this is also, this is another problem is like, okay, so if Christian did it, did he scope it out first? There's so many stories saying that there were people like hanging out outside of the
Right.
apartment the week before. Does that have anything to do with the case? Do we know? It's just like, I don't know. Sorry. It drives me nuts.
No, well, John, there's more
Yeah.
coming out. Like, I think we're gonna be hearing more and more now that especially that he's out, like, you wanna talk about the tabloids losing their minds. Like, we should be expecting to see this guy followed to some degree, whatever they can do. I know he's gone off to a halfway house now, that he has this, tag on him. I guess they're calling it a tag. I'm thinking
Ankle.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
an
It's ankle
ankle
Things
monitor.
in
monitor.
ankle
Okay.
monitor.
And that supposedly it doesn't even really work over the border, so whatever that means. And that they took away his passport. Okay. I mean, I don't mean to, like, big eye roll there, but don't you think that that's I don't know. But he's also supposed to go up he got in trouble in prison, as, this character might, and so he's gotta go back in October, for another hearing, so they're expecting to see him in about a month from what I understand, for another case. He could go back to prison for, like, 6 weeks. It feels like they are just doing whatever they can to hold on to him.
Yeah. They should.
Yeah.
Um, and not
Yeah.
effectively, to be honest.
I mean, at what point is somebody a danger to the public?
I mean,
Good question.
colossal, terrifying, they have said that they expect that the investigators say they expect bad things to happen. How are we not all terrified, that whoever is in the proximity of this guy is gonna have to have eyes in the back of their head? Absolutely terrifying, and we're gonna be following this, and, I know there's a lot more that's gonna be coming out about it too. I hear there's documentaries that are popping all over the place. I'm gonna be following it, but
Mhm.
I'm so glad we could talk about it today. This is one of the most fascinating cases I've ever seen, and I know that the world agrees with
Mhm.
us. Well, y'all have a great day, and we will see y'all later. Be sure to like and subscribe. I wanna hear what other people think about this case as well. If you have any comments about what's going on with the Maddie McCann, what have they missed? What did we miss in all of our
There's a lot.
investigations
Yeah.
into this? Well, thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.